This is the incredible story of force, fury, and faith. The story of Hurricane Hugo and how the people of South Carolina overcame it. Recovering from some of South Carolina's darkest hours, this is the story of bringing back the light. Saturday, September 9th, 1989. A group of thunderstorms forms off the West African coast, heading west across the Atlantic. By September 10th, the storm is upgraded to a tropical depression. It is the 11th tropical storm since the Atlantic hurricane season began on June 1st. It would be named Hugo. During the next week, Hugo reaches full hurricane status and strengthens to become a Category 4 storm, with winds clocked at 133 miles per hour. It smashes through the Caribbean. By Monday, September 18th, the system is approximately 1,100 miles from the South Carolina coast and moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Hugo is on its way to becoming the storm of the century. As Hurricane Hugo approaches, preparation efforts begin. Business and property owners begin boarding up as it becomes clear that we are going to be hit, and hit hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charleston County is now under a state of emergency. It is anticipated that Hurricane Hugo will be in the Charleston area earlier than first reported.
At 6 a.m. Thursday, September 21st, the governor of South Carolina issues a mandatory evacuation order for the state beaches, affecting all 8 coastal counties.
The residents are being urged to evacuate their homes and mobile homes as soon as possible.
You no longer have a choice. You have been ordered to leave your home and seek shelter on higher ground elsewhere, preferably upstate.
We cannot express to you the seriousness of this situation. You need to get out while you have the time to do it, the chance to do it.
By 5:40 p.m., Hugo is now predicted to be the worst storm seen here in 30 years.
I personally did not expect it to get this strong. I thought it would be a Category 3 hurricane, but not reaching a Category 4.
The center of the projected path, again, has Charleston dead, dead center.
So we're dead to rights then in terms of the hurricane.
Night falls, and the lights stand bright against an incoming fury of wind and sea. This is a night no one will soon forget. At 10:20 p.m., Hugo makes landfall at the Isle of Palms, north of Charleston. With sustained winds of 135 miles per hour, hurricane-force winds extend northward for 200 miles. Homes are lost, lives uprooted as the skies rip open, tearing across the landscape. Santee Cooper, the state-owned electric utility, loses all of its ability to generate power for the first time in its 50-year history, and 2/3 of the state blacks out.
Matiba's out. SC&G, the favorite place tower, is out. Jeffers to Pondwood, 115's out. Allen to Pond, we just got, the list just keeps growing right now.
Heavy control, Bobby.
The whole complex is out.
Whole complex.
Santee Cooper, Tommy.
We just had a tree fall in our backyard and the line's down back here.
A tree down in the backyard in Pontopolis. Okay.
But I didn't know there was a transformer down there, but there was a ball of fire came out of it, lit the whole road up.
Okay, then.
I'm scared to death.
Yeah, this is a full force number 4 hurricane.
Yeah.
Class 4 hurricane.
I hope this little house holds together.
Hope it does. Things get bad, get in the bathroom and cover up with a mattress.
We got trees popping all over the place, so I know we taking some serious damage there.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's going to be anything left.
We have no generation on our system.
Okay.
We are absolutely dead.
All right.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Everybody else is out of power to you.
Scared, though.
September 22nd brings a vision of destruction unseen in the history of South Carolina. Miles of coastline have washed away. Homes have simply disappeared. Acres upon acres of timberland crushed flat. Tourism, the state's second largest industry, stops dead. Lives, homes, and businesses like straws in the wind now lie scattered across the land as a massive recovery gets underway. On the night of the storm, it had become clear as Hugo marched inland from Charleston that Berkeley County and Moncks Corner would sustain a direct hit. This is home to the utility's nerve center and 3 of its major generating stations. The utility serves 89,000 retail customers, 15 electric cooperatives, 3 military bases, 30 industrial customers, and 2 municipalities. Moncks Corner is the headquarters for the entire Santee Cooper electrical system.
We just kept watching the 230 lines go out and nothing we could do about it. As I saw how the transmission system began to fall apart, I knew that it was very devastating and there would be a lot of trees on the ground.
We realized that the magnitude of the storm was about the worst that we had expected it could be.
6882 on local.
All right, let's open our switches on 6882, place it on local, and try closing at one time.
In a desperate struggle to keep their customers online, controllers attempted to switch the load to alternate route feeds and away from existing damaged lines. Unknown to them, the winds had already destroyed too many vital connections, causing the entire system to automatically shut down. At 2 a.m., Santee Cooper had no generation of its own available to its customers for the first time ever. With all the generating stations shut down, Santee Cooper engineers were faced with the problem of finding a power source for starting 3 huge turbine generators.
At the beach, there are 5 gas turbines over there. 3 of them are black start turbines. A black start means that you do not have to have any outside power coming in to power the unit up. It has its own excitation systems to allow you to come up on batteries and be able to put power on the line. So we went over not knowing what we would have, but went over and just did that.
Similar to an airplane engine, these turbines generate enough power during the lighting off phase of the startup to begin generation at the station.
The unit operator over there that we dealt with, we just kept him on the phone and worked with him.
Hey, we went online. All right, you got it? Fire out. Okay, we got it. Okay. Now, Virgil, don't load it up. Just hold it right where you got it.
From there, power is fed to the other generating stations and then, gradually, throughout the system. What happened here and what comes next is a story of unbending determination, perseverance, and round-the-clock organization. In the days that follow that nightmare evening, line crews, contract workers, engineers, and management will work incredible hours against the damage of Hugo. Santee Cooper line crews are out inspecting and assessing damage long before the winds of Hugo have subsided. By 5 a.m. Friday morning, crews with chainsaws have cleared the main access roads. The utility concentrates on restoring power to such vital services as water and sewer, city and county emergency operations, and persons who depend on electrically operated life support equipment. Full restoration to all Santee Cooper customers is expected to take at least a month. On Friday, September 22nd, the fleets come rolling in from Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, and Florida. Convoys of bucket trucks, line trucks, material trucks, and trailers bring much-needed equipment and supplies. In time, over 300 workers will arrive from surrounding states to help piece Santee Cooper's service area back together. is a war zone and a battle fought between darkness and light. Crews surveying from the air have trouble finding the 100-foot rights-of-way that are normally cleared for high-power transmission lines. There is a rural area near the coast that the workers have nicknamed Cambodia. It is in these places that they fight the hardest. Support for the work crews is to create another problem for the staff and management of Santee Cooper. By Friday morning, 150 workers from Georgia Power have arrived to play their vital role in getting the power back up. Food and shelter for them has to be provided. Logistical support comes from local restaurants hooked up to generators, enabling them to provide food for the line workers. Shelter is provided by area motels, churches, and gymnasiums. Others are put up at the utilities main office auditorium, the employee recreation facility, and the Jeffries generating station, soon to be known as the Hydro Hilton. Getting laundry done for the large workforce becomes a major daily accomplishment for the employee volunteers. The men and women of Santee Cooper begin working as never before to bring the system back to life.
They stayed on the job, and of course, they didn't know what was happening at their home and the destruction they were having personally. So I was just very, very impressed and thankful and grateful for our team.
Within the first 12 hours after the storm, patches of light begin to show on the landscape. These first small victories fuel the workers onward.
We were in Pawleys Island the first day we got there, and this girl rode up and asked George, she said, is my power back on yet? And George said, as long as you don't live at the end of this street. And the girl started crying. She was so happy that her power was back on. And, you know, I get chill bumps just thinking about that, because you know that those people are looking up, and every time they come home and they see a Santee Cooper truck in their yard, their eyes would get so big. And that's what it's all about for us. Our adrenaline's been flowing, and we get people's power back on. And we could just go right on. We can work 24 hours a day.
On Monday, the 25th, most of the central business district in Moncks Corner is energized. By Wednesday, the 27th, full power is returned to the Berkeley Electric Cooperative and the cities of Georgetown, Conway, and Loris. The list begins to grow. Charleston Naval Base, Charleston Air Force Base, Myrtle Beach Air Force Base, Alumax, and Jim Walter Metals. On the 29th, Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach show at 100%, with 75% of the power having been restored to Litchfield Beach, Pawleys Island, and Merle's Inlet.
When I came in last Sunday and started work on this, if you had told me that we would have all but 8 of our cooperative stations back online 7 days later, I would have said you were crazy, just flat out crazy.
On Saturday, the 30th, only 10% of residential customers remain without power. St. Stephen receives power for the first time. On Sunday, the figure is down to 5%.
Didn't have any idea that we would be able to accomplish or get as far as we have. I think this is the 9th day, and we've done tremendously well, I think.
Wednesday, October 4th, brings full power to all of the electric cooperatives that the utility serves. All 230 distribution points are fully operational.
We put up a lot of lines, turn on a heap of lights.
It is 2 weeks to the day since Hugo slammed into the South Carolina coast and delivered the most devastating blow ever experienced by Santee Cooper and the state of South Carolina. Although the area has been hit with the mightiest storm in a century, it soon becomes clear that an even greater surge of power has come from the people of South Carolina.
It's been like of embracing of each other and a needing of each other, and knowing that there is strength in that kind of support, and knowing that, you know, that we can be blown upright again, and that our lives can be strengthened out of this tragedy.
It was the hands that reached out to help, the hearts that cared so deeply, and the men and women who gave up so much for others. It has indeed been the worst of times, and yet the best of times. A combination of destruction and renewal, a triumph of the human spirit over the fury of a storm, of light over darkness.
At night, when we didn't have electricity, we put candles everywhere. Had to eat with 2 candles at the table. They put the power lines up. They put the power lines up when we had electric. Yeah, I watched my movies and I took a bath and I ate a little bit. Most of the time I ate. They got a long thing on the back of it. It's got a big pipe. And it goes up with the man in that little bucket. When the lights came back on, we was happy. They look like men. They haven't changed on. They have big yellow hats.
When the lights came on, I was happy. I was happy because I had a night light and I had electricity to take a bath and keep it warm.
Well, it made me feel safe. My friends were okay. Beth was okay, and April, and all my friends. I'm glad that the power came on and the lights.
I saw one large group of dedicated people that I knew was right on top of the situation. And that's the message that's coming back to me, the letters that I receive, the thanks from the industrial customers and from all of our customers and all the people, the dedication of the employees and what they did. And there's just no way, there's no way in the world that I can express my thanks enough to the employees. I've written them. There was no task too small, and no employee was too big to do whatever had to be done to get the job done, and I'll never forget that.